Welcome to our brand new time for Iconic TV Live. My name is Dr. Connie Scavella. I am your host, and today we mark the first time that we are finally coming out in the afternoon. We're going to be here now every Tuesday still, but it's going to be at 1 p.m. And, you know, I love the number one. So 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, and all the times in between. And this is the actual kickoff of our new series. This is the series called the 7-Figure Year. So if you're in business, you have your own business, maybe you're a solo practitioner, some service business, maybe you have a brick and mortar business. And a lot of people that we deal with are consultants and advisors. And so we're talking to you today on how do you actually take your business to the next level. You might be like most of our clients in the $250,000, $400,000 range, but you just can't seem to jump to that next threshold. And this is what we want to talk about today is how do you do this? This is our specialty, is taking businesses from 6 figures to 7 figures in 1 year or less. And we do it at speed. We do it very, very quickly. And the only way you can do it very quickly is by simplifying everything, streaming everything down only to the essential things that you need and being singularly focused on the one thing that you are focused on. And you can't be a master in 5 different areas, 5 different products, 5 different audiences. You have to be focused on one thing. And this is the differentiator. In the beginning, you might be trying to find your way around and you try all these different things, but ultimately you need to settle on one strategy. And what we focus on, obviously, is getting people to that 7-figure mark and beyond and doing it very fast. If you're just starting out, watch and take notes because we know that you're going to get some great stuff out of this. Now, we are doing this series, the 7-figure year, and how we take it over 12 months. We're shortening it and compressing time. And over the next 12 weeks, we are showing you exactly how our process works. So you can chime in on the areas that we're working on, figure out what part applies to you. Have a call with us, see if we can help you, or just ask questions. And every time we're going to give you a new playbook on that lesson so you will see exactly how to scale your business. Sound good? All right. So we're going to get into this. This is a kind of a new format for me, so bear with me. I might make a few mistakes, but that's how you know I am actually live, right? Okay, so we want to kick this off, and I want to show you, first of all, let's kind of look at the playbook that we're talking about, right? And so this is that 7-figure equation that we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about how to actually do it, but you have to begin with the basics and the foundation, which is the numbers. Do you know your numbers? And if you don't know them, then a lot of people just try to skip over it and they don't understand where their business crumbles. And this is why, because you haven't mastered the numbers. So this is what we're going to be covering today. This is, we like to give you a 1-pager for everything. So you see what it's going to look like overall. And then we're going to break it down into its individual parts and pieces. So we're going to have a lot of fun today and really look at this whole 7-figure equation. What are the numbers that you need to look at that will actually take your business to 7 figures? Sound good? Okay, so what we want to do is make sure if you're here, put down a comment. Let me know that you're here. Let me know if you're getting to 7 figures, if you're past 7 figures, where are you? And please stay to the end because I'm going to give you access to all the playbooks and save them up because we've got 12 of them coming. So we want you to be able to do everything. So I'm really glad that you're here. We're going to go ahead and get going now and hopefully get all this covered in about 30 minutes. So this is week 1, right? So think of it like an intelligence series, right? We're going to elevate everything so you know how to operate and scale your business. And I want to set the tone right from the beginning that this is really not a motivational series or a feel-good series. It's really about the intelligence, architecting an intelligent process. And the truth is that most consultants are struggling because not that they're not talented, it's that they're struggling in their business because they're building their business on hope. And hope is not a strategy. You might have heard that before. I'm going to show you today how the exact strategy behind this 7-figure business, how you can use it, the same equation I use, my clients use, and how it'll be predictable, scalable, and intelligent. And by the end of this whole series, you're going to find out what really are the things that you need to look at. What do you need to be focused on? And again, it's not what you think, right? Most people are just scaling hope and not math. And we want you to start scaling math. We want to clear away the clutter and really get you out of that stuck point, out of that strategic inflection point where you can't really figure out what's going on. You almost want to pull back a little where it was easier. That doesn't work. So 6 to 7 figures, 1 year or less, that's what we're going to do for you. And just come back every week and we will show you step by step how you get there. Are you excited for this? Okay. Because what's happening is most people are focused on the wrong things. And because of that, they're creating this chaos. And it's not really that they're falling behind, it's this that they're running blind. They're just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And this is why we want to get you in the right place and get you out of this strategy of feeling like, oh, I have to focus on, the hope. The hope is not going to get you there. Okay. So let's go ahead and move forward. What do you need to do with your business? Okay, so this is all designed to give you step-by-steps, give you the playbooks that you can download and follow. Okay, so let's talk about the real issue is that if you can't measure the input, you can't predict the output, right? And people are operating inside this hope strategy. They're guessing and they're reacting and they're posting content and hoping somebody sees it. Is that you? They're maybe taking calls, hoping somebody would buy. They're delivering and hoping that clients will stay. But what happens is nothing's working, right? And so when your business is built on hope and your revenue becomes very emotional instead of mathematical, you wake up every month feeling like you're starting from zero, like, oh, I got to try again. I need to try again. So what do? You overcompensate, you over deliver for the under planning that took place. And you feel like you're doing everything right, but nothing is predictable. And then you're not failing. You're just flying blind, right? And today we're going to fix that. So this is the good news. Let's dive into this equation because we want to talk about this is the equation, right? Here's how it looks. A 7-figure equation is really simple. It's elegant and it's brutally honest. 7 figures is 0 times D times C times L. Let me break that down for you. Grab some notes, okay? We're going to start here first, and we're going to start with the first part of the equation, and that is the O. Okay, what that means is this is your offer clarity. You have to be really clear. What is the standard? The standard is it has to be an obvious yes. When people see your offer, oh yeah, I want it. Not a maybe. Okay, so this is your foundation in this 7-figure year. Do you have something that when people see what you're offering to the world, that they say, oh yeah, I got to have that? Okay, so tell me in the comments, is your offer a yes? Is it an obvious yes? Or is it an obvious maybe? What are you getting more? And if you know your closing ratio, put that down. We're going to talk about that also next week, how your closing ratio affects your pricing and your offer. Okay, so this is the foundation. Okay, now what I want you to understand that if your offer isn't clear, nothing else works. Okay. And offer clarity means what is it that you sell? Are you really clear? Who is it for? Who are you for? Do they know who you are? Do they know why this matters to them? What problem is it going to solve? And why it is the obvious yes. So if your offer is an obvious yes, it's a maybe, not sure, I'll think about it. Problem is maybes don't scale. So that's the first part you need to do. Now, in this formula, we need to time this by the letter D, okay? And D stands for demand. This is the demand pathway. So demand, are you getting demand for your product, your offer, your services, or not? You see, demand is not luck. what it really is, it's engineered. It's not accidental. And this is how people find you, understand you, how they trust you, how they move towards you. And if you don't have a demand pathway, you're relying on referrals. And referrals aren't a business model. People think it is, especially like in the real estate field, it really isn't. Okay. So now you have the offer, you have the demand. What's the next thing we have to multiply in order to hit the 7 figures? And I'm going really fast here, but I'll do a review at the end. And the next thing is conversion precision. Are you closing? Are you closing with precision? Is it predictable? You see, a lot of people think, oh, I have so much attention out there. I'm visible everywhere. But attention isn't revenue. And so people often find that they're doing everything just to be seen, but they aren't making money. You see this a lot with influencers out there. And they might be seen everywhere, but they're not making more money. Okay. So the people that you do bring to you, are you able to close them? Because if it's not about the attention and the vanity metrics and how many numbers you have under your platform, then you still have to be able to convert. And hopefully you're building a high ticket business. You're not going for little, $30, $50, $100 or $1,000 products. Ideally, we want you in the 3,000 to 5,000 minimum range. In order to grow to 7 figures. Now, if you're having a hard time with that, then let us know and just go to callconnie.com. We'll show you how you can up the price, because remember, engagement isn't revenue. The views are not revenue. Conversion is when someone says, ooh, I want this. I want you. I want it now, right? That's the psychology that you're trying to get into. See, conversion is architecture. It's clarity. And that's what we want to go for. So now you have those 3 things: the O, the offer, the D, the demand, and the C, the conversion. So how are you doing on all 3 of those? Would you give yourself on a scale of 1 to 5? If you had 5, I'm amazing at this. 3, I'm okay. 1 is, I got a lot of work to do. Total that up for those 3 categories. And what is that number? Okay, because now we want to take the sum of all those and we want to take it and use leverage. So leverage is that force multiplier. This is the difference maker. This is the difference that you're going to see between 6-figure operator and a 7-figure CEO. So leverage is your delivery and your systems. Got to have systems. It's your identity and your AI. Everybody needs an AI in there. It's also your time, because a lot of people are feeling that they're just so overwhelmed and they don't know where to go and what to do. And when you are feeling that overwhelm, that pressure, and that burden, you don't have clarity. You won't do the right things. This, again, is why those systems are going to come in play, why your identity is so important, because that's what you stand for. We always recommend for our clients to start with a manifesto of who you are. That's magnetically going to draw the right people to you in bulk. And so leverage is really what makes your business feel lighter instead of heavier as you grow. And when you multiply these variables together, you get a business that's predictable, it's scalable, and it's intelligent. Okay. So what we want to do now is let's kind of look at this diagnostic. Okay. And this is a fun part. How do we really break this down? Okay. And remember, this is just lesson 1 out of the 12 when we talk about the 12 months of getting to a 7-figure year from 6 to 7 figures. So here is the part that a lot of people miss. And your business is only as strong as your weakest variable. And I think about that. It's not, by variable, I'm talking the numbers, right? So you can have an irresistible offer and you might have some demand, but if it's inconsistent and you struggle, then you don't have strong demand. But if your conversion is weak, you'll struggle. even if you have good demand, right? So you see how each one leverages against the next. And you can also have great conversion, but if your delivery isn't leveraged, you're going to burn out. You might offer everything to people, especially if you're doing some done for you, which is great and offers more high ticket. But if you're having to do it all yourself, you can't outsource some of it, you're going to burn out. So you see, everything is dependent on each other. And so what we want to do is really look at this and figure out, how do we diagnose your business right now? Okay. So this is what I want you to ask yourself. Let's ask yourself these quick questions and see how you do with this. Okay. So ask yourself, first of all, is my offer clear? What do I mean by clear? Remember, I talked about obvious. Is it an obvious yes, I want that? Or is it an obvious maybe, where everybody you talk to seems to want to think about it? Maybe I got to check it out, check some other things out. What about your demand? Is your demand consistent? It's very predictable? Or is it accidental? Like, oh my gosh, someone just showed up. Isn't that cool? That's not going to get you to where you want to be, right? And score yourself here on this. What about your conversion? Is it predictable or is it emotional? It's like they feel like it, they don't. You feel like it, you don't, right? You have to have all of this lined out so that if you step away from your business, somebody else can step in and there'll be no impact on your bottom line. That's what you want to have, that anybody can step into your shoes and do this. We want to get you out of operator mode and into owner mode. That's where you can really be the visionary. That's where business becomes fun. That's where you make money hand over fist, more when you wake up than when you go to sleep. That's what it feels like to have a 7-figure business. And you're not wondering, can I afford this? Should I do this? Which one? Both, right? That's when you're operating like a true owner of your business. And then I also want you to look at delivery. Is your delivery leveraged or is it manual? Do you have all the pieces and parts there? So again, you can step away from your business if you need to. Do you have that self-led company? Or is everything dependent on you? Are you the bottleneck? And I want you to understand that you don't have to fix everything. Okay. It's not like, oh my gosh, I just got to shut down and fix it all and do it all and fix the right things. That's what you want to focus on. And this equation here really tells you where to look. And that's why I wanted you to see it. So here is the identity shift that you want to think about is, who are you? And there's some really good books out there, and I read about 2, sometimes 3 books a week. And if you want any good books, just send me a message and say, hey, what are some good books on this topic? And I can help you out and point you in the right direction so you don't read a bunch of things that are made up or fake AI or anything like that. Some really good things. But let's talk about you. What is your identity? Okay. So you're not the employee, the chief cook and bottle washer. Maybe if you're, in the consulting space like we are, you're not just a coach. Okay. That's not just what you are. All right. You're not a consultant. You're not a business owner. You're not a service provider. What you are is an architect. And architects don't guess, right? They know with precision exactly where everything goes, how you get square corners. Everything is perfect. That's what you're building here. This is why we say we're architecting your 7-figure year with intelligence, not haphazard guessing, not like, what's the latest thing on YouTube? What's the newest fad? Well, that was hard. I think I'll try something else. Nope. You're going to architect this perfectly. And this is our process. The reason people are able to scale to 7 figures so quickly with us is because we've narrowed everything down to 4 parts and 4 pieces, right? We always talk about the cube, right? And this is what we talk about. Every part of this is our SOAR formula, SOAR. And every part of your business is categorized into one of those places. So you always know where you should be, where you're going, what it looks like. How do you know that you've accomplished it and can move on? And this is what we're talking about, is about not guessing. And I really want you to think about that. Architects don't hope, right? They don't wing it. You can't wing it. Imagine an architect kind of winging it, building a sky rise, and the whole thing comes down. No. Okay. What they do is they design, and this is the equation. This is your seven-figure equation. This is your blueprint. Okay. And so I want you this year, I want you to stop hoping and stop wishing, stop playing small. Stop thinking it's permissible to just go slowly in the parts you don't understand. Why not go for speed? Why not get there faster, iterate along the way? Okay. I want you to stop hoping. I want you to start engineering a seven-figure business. If you need help, that is what we're here for. But I want you to get all of these 12 playbooks we're going to put out. And we'll give you some information on it. Just put playbooks down below. We'll reach out to you and get them to you, or send me a private message wherever you're watching, and I'll be happy to get it to you. You can also get kind of a jump on it and get the book Soar. You can find it on Amazon, or message me if you want a free copy. I'll send you a free copy, no shipping or anything. And if you want the Audible, I can even get you an Audible copy for free, because that's the foundation of what we're talking about. So I want you to have a leg up this year and go fast. I want you to soar and not flounder, not flatline. Okay. So before I recap, okay, and we wrap up, I want to just go over this again. I want you to really look at what we were talking about here and how we're going to build this. And think about this. I want you to look at your business and look where you are now. Look where you were last year at this time. Hopefully, you had just as much ambition and enthusiasm, but what did you miss? What didn't you get done? How much money did you leave on the table? This is what we want you to pick up today. Okay. So let's take a look at what we're really talking about here. Is I want you to think about this. Okay, remember, your business is only as strong as its weakest link. What's the weakest link? The variable, the number that you don't know, that you're not targeting for, that you're not tracking. Okay, remember, you don't have to fix everything, just the right things. And you're going to focus on the 4 key things that are going to get you there. We showed you the formula. This is the formula for success. And you see, there's only 4 parts to that, right? So we're keeping it simple. You're going to be doing an identity shift. You're no longer a boss, you're an architect. You're going to think in a different way. You're going to think intelligently about your business, and how do you actually design it as a building that's going to last, build a legacy business. And again, these are the 4 parts. It's all part of an engine. You have to do them in order, in a particular pace, and don't linger in one area too long. Okay. Again, if you want this playbook, all you have to do is type playbook below. So what are those 4 steps? Again, number 1, you have to have offer clarity. Know exactly that you have an obvious yes to people. Soon as they see it, well, I have to have that. Okay. How do I get it? Then demand pathway. How are people coming to you? How are you bringing them in magnetically, not just sitting around waiting for referrals? It's not a business model. Okay. And then number 3 that you're going to multiply is the conversion. Can you close? Or some people can't even close the front door. You've got to work on that if that's your issue. And then you're going to take those metrics, figure out where you're weak, and then multiply that all by leverage, right? This is the force multiplier. How do you do this at scale, not onesie twosies? Okay. Is this making sense to you? So simple, isn't it? Okay. So what we want to do is start thinking like an architect, right? No more guessing. We're focusing on design of your business. No more hoping. You're going to engineer success, and no more winging it. Okay. You've got blueprints, and we have them for you. Book a call with us, even if you just want me to do an analysis on how much profit you can make in your business. I can double your profit in 5 minutes. I can show you exactly how to do it. It's going to take you 1 hour. Just write profit down below if you want to do that, and say, how do I at least double my profit? Maybe I can't get to 7 figures, but how do I double it? And how could I double my profit this quarter? That's really what you want to do. Imagine if you could do that in your business. So what I want you to do is, depending on where you're watching, go to iconictvlive.com. We're going to put the links in that YouTube channel. If you want to watch this again, let us know and send us a DM if you want it. And what's happening next week, I want to let you know, is week 2. Okay. So what we're doing in week 2 is power play. And this is all about your business model. Some people don't have the right business model. And so this is what we want to do. This is what it looks like. I'm going to give you a sneak peek right here. But I want you to understand that all you have to understand is this is a process, and it's not, you're not seeing it out there, but it's also not made up. It's not like I pulled this out of air and AI in 2026. This is what has powered me for over 20 years in 5 businesses I built to 7 figures from scratch, and it can do the same thing for you. So if you want the outcome in that life of that freedom, the flexibility, the finances, the family time, if that's what you really built your business for, then go ahead and reach out. Go to callconnie.com. That's callkoni.com. And we will be happy to help you out, show you how you can double your profits in 5 minutes, and give you all the playbooks for when we get started. So all I want you to do now is take the notes, test yourself, watch this again, see how you scored, and ask for the playbook, and we will send it to you. And then you can start building up your whole collection of all 12 playbooks, and you will have a master plan for 7 figures. So we will see you next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 2 Mountain, 3 Central, 4 Eastern. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in that time, be iconic, and we'll see you next Tuesday.